Well, this was a scene from a movie called Swadesh. This is how hydroelectricity is generated. This was the exact scene when Darjeeling for the first time was illuminated by electricity at night as well as in people's lives. As till then they had no more than an oil lamp just to get through the night in their homes. How much does an oil lamp light our homes? Today we have lights like halogens, fluorescent bulbs, LEDs, tube lights, compact bulbs and whatnot. And for backup, we have inverters, generators, solar lights, we have emergency lamps or even a torch in our smartphones. And that also is not enough for us during a power cut. But during old days, the nights were filled with nothing but darkness until the next sunrise. And then in the year 1897, something happened. Our hills were lit with electricity, opening the windows to so many possibilities and changed our life drastically. So let's go back in time once again and witness the journey of electricity in Darjeeling. So welcome to Nepali Vibes. Today we'll be exploring how Darjeeling became Asia's first hydroelectric power station. 9th November 1897, Darjeeling. Lives were normal, the regular night with darkness everywhere and few oil lamps at our homes and maybe few on the streets. But elsewhere, some people were going through the final check of all the machines and the entire setup, making sure there'll be no glitches the next morning. As the next day, 10th November 1897 was the inauguration of hydroelectric power in Sidrapong, Darjeeling, Asia's first hydroelectric power plant. Sidrapong is a small village located at the foothills of Arya Tea State, 12 kilometers from Darjeeling. On 10th November 1897, from early morning, all the staff along with the locals were very anxious and excited to see light in their life for the first time. Well, this is how it all started. When East India Company arrived in around the 1800s in Darjeeling, the entire town was in darkness without any electricity or any source since they settled that they will not be able to function at their full capacity because electricity was missing. Since the British Viceroy ran all administrative affairs from Darjeeling during summers, without a source such as electricity left them crippled. So they had to either abandon Darjeeling or do something about it. So they started to explore the possible locations, and that's how they discovered that Sidrapong is a potential place to start since it is located in the center of the three streams. Before going further, let's first understand how the basic hydropower plant works. The above image shows the typical layout of a hydroelectric power plant and its basic components. The dam is constructed on a large river in hilly areas to ensure sufficient water storage at a certain height. The dam forms a large reservoir behind it. Water from the reservoir is allowed to flow through the penstock to the turbine, and the amount of water to be released is controlled by the control gate. A penstock is a huge pipe or a channel that carries water from the reservoir to the turbine, and the potential energy gets converted to kinetic energy. When water from the penstock flows into the water turbine, it spins the turbine due to the force of water or due to kinetic energy, which is mechanically coupled to an electric generator, and consequently, the generator gets driven and electrical energy is created. So the generator is mounted in the powerhouse, and then electricity with the help of a transformer gets transmitted to various towers and then into our homes or any other commercial properties. Now, after understanding the basics of a hydroelectric power plant, let's continue. After finalizing the location, the process started, and then on 11th February 1896, the Municipal Commissioners of Darjeeling set up a hydroelectric power station for the purpose of lightening the town. A loan of Rs 1 lakh was secured from the government, so they contacted the Maharaja Bardhawan, and after the deal got finalized. The contract was then given to Crompton and Company, and they selected Mr. John Mears, the man behind the engineering. He came to Darjeeling in 1896, surveyed the place for planning and construction, and then Mr. Mears with his team immediately started the work for the installation of a power station, with machines and equipment imported from Britain. There had been no proper road communication. All equipment, machinery and materials had to be transported manually. After its completion, it was inaugurated on 10th November 1897 by C.C. Stevens, the acting Lieutenant Governor of Bengal, and after an eventful day, light for the first time made its way to Darjeeling Hills. As said before, the station uses water from the three streams or Jhoras, Kotwali, Hospital and Borbati, and water from the flumes is gathered at the 4-bay reservoir, then fed into a penstock which delivers it to the gates of the turbines. The plant consisted of two 65 kilowatt Crompton-Burton single phase with two Gunther's turbines, all imported from Great Britain. In the first phase, electricity was distributed as follows: Bardhaun Palace, Strawberry Ground, now known as Nightingale Park, Governor House, Mall Road, Jail, Police Station, Hospital, VIP Cottage, Tea Gardens and Manager Bungalows. For the first few years, Darjeeling municipality had to run Sidrapong Hydropower station at a loss. There had been few consumers of electrical power, but gradually the total power of 130 kilowatts was expanded in phases for increased demands to a total of 1000 kilowatt in 1916 with a new powerhouse at a higher location now known as Jubilee Powerhouse. Having reached the limit of the water supply, the machinery was replaced in 1931 for more efficient triple-phase transmission. However, the limited supply of water meant that power generation could not be increased to match the growing demand of the town and the factories at the neighboring tea gardens. Various schemes were prepared to install a larger power station elsewhere, unknown and a sad fact. In 1914, while surveying for the upgradation of the project, municipal engineer George P. Robertson drowned to death in the Great Rangit River. However, the old single-phase system of supply had become outdated as it suffered from transmission losses. So new 5 sets replaced the old 7 sets in the new 3-phase system, one of them at the lower powerhouse and 4 at the higher Jubilee powerhouse. One 200 kilowatt set was moved in 1942 to a still lower location at Singtown, Darjeeling Power Station. This may be called the third stage of Sidrapong since it runs utilizing its discharged water. Later in the year 1931, the process started of new plant installation in Kurseong and people started using electricity in the year 1934 and in Kalimpong in 1935. And eventually in the year 1953, people of Mirik started using electricity. After the independence, West Bengal State Electricity Board took over Sidrapong Hydropower Station when it absorbed the Darjeeling electric supply undertaking on 30th January 1978. In the 1980s, the station was damaged due to a landslide and remained closed for a decade, but was revived in 1997 to mark its centenary. The station has been accorded cultural heritage status by the central government. Mr. Subhash Gising, the then chairman of DGHC, had constructed a road to Sidrapong basically to uplift tourism in that spot, but the plan did not work out as expected. And then during the time of Mr. Bimal Gurung, the then chairman of GTA, the road was reconstructed. And now in 2023, the roads are not in excellent condition since it takes 45 to 50 minutes to reach Darjeeling town, which is just 12 kilometers from Sidrapong, according to the latest posts. But if you look from a different perspective, besides having such a rich history, its value and importance, Sidrapong deserves more than what its present condition is. According to the Telegraph Online, in the year 2014, The Gorkhaland Territorial Administration received Rs 8 crore from the centre for the renovation of Sidrapong hydro project. However, according to a few articles, there has been no improvement in transportation nor the roads in the area, and the locals are still facing issues as it's located 12 kilometers away from the main town. Students are still walking for 3 hours just to attend schools, and since more energy is spent on travelling, this prevents them from focusing on their studies. The village does not even have a basic health care system. They have to run to Darjeeling for minor health issues, and according to the villagers, a few unwell individuals have lost their lives during the transit because of the road conditions. Why is Sidrapong being ignored when it has been declared a heritage site? Darjeeling is famous for toy trains, tourism, tea and teaching. But being Asia's first hydropower plant is also a remarkable achievement and should be highlighted equally. The powerhouse is not being managed properly. We can see the condition of the site, broken walls, power plant parts rusted and lying around, broken bridges and abandoned quarters. If the administration can focus on the area, it can be a very good spot for tourists, which will automatically boost the economy of the area and bless all the locals. I urge all of you to share this video so much, eventually compelling the local authority to take necessary actions for the growth of tourism and the economy of Sidrapong, as it is our heritage and should be preserved and well looked after. At present, according to few reports, there are about 11 families comprising about 40 people, including children and senior citizens. Before 1978, there were about 60 families, most of whom migrated due to the following two reasons. After West Bengal board took the charge, the job was not transferred to the locals, so many people left to find other opportunities to earn. The violent Gorkhaland agitation of 1986 also forced many people to leave the place to seek employment and opportunities elsewhere. Today, we have taken electricity for granted and use it without any thought of saving it. For us, a power cut is a big deal. It is. Our phones, Wi-Fi, official work, or work from home, TVs, cooking and washing appliances, including electric vehicles, all run on electricity. With these machines in our life, there is no doubt it has been so much easier, and we are already dependent on them. We just don't realize it, isn't it? It's like we can't live without it. But during those days, people did not depend on electricity, technology or any machines like the way we do today. And it's gonna get worse in the future. Therefore, our ancestors were compelled to nothing, hence they were free. And I think that is what is important in life, chained to nothing and living free. Yes, I know it was a British era, but they ruled us for 200 years, but technology will rule us forever. Think about it. Anyways, this was how our Darjeeling became Asia's first hydroelectric power station and completely changed our lives. So if you like this video, please give us a like, and if you're here for the first time, please subscribe and share. Thank you for watching. See you next time.